guys, welcome to another video. For those of you who are new here, my name is Melanie and I'm on a journey to transform my life. We're back on the bedroom floor today, which means we've got some serious chatting to do. Now really, I just have nowhere else to film and there's good lighting in here, so. I got my hair up in a massive bun today. So in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about my nutrition and what I've been eating to lose weight these past few months. Before we get into that though, I want to give you a recap of how dieting used to go in the past for me. I'm motivated. Whoa! We're gonna do this. We're gonna lose a ton of weight. We're gonna make it happen. I'm hungry. Guess I should get on Grubhub. I always had great intentions when I started a new diet plan. I would get my program ready, I'd get all the food and cook it all and do all the meal prepping and be really motivated and ready to go. Sometimes I would make it a day, sometimes I'd make it a couple days, sometimes I would make it even a few weeks, but then I would fall off track and I'd feel disappointed and just feel really shitty about myself. Mel, this is so simple and easy. Why can't you just stick to what you set your mind to? Why can't you just stick to this simple diet plan? And that would happen over and over again and I just get so frustrated with myself. Doing that over and over really lost a lot of the confidence I had in myself and the trust in my abilities to make it happen. Doing my prep was a whole different animal. I'm not really talking about that here when I talk about my previous attempts, because when I was doing my prep, I was on a really strict diet plan. 6 meals a day. I had my meals exactly lined out for me. I knew what I needed to eat, when I needed to eat it. And I was working with a coach, so I had somebody that I was accountable to. And I was able to follow that plan for those 8 months that I was competing for my show, and I had that goal in mind, so that's kind of what helped me stay on track. But once I was done with my show, I wasn't able to stick to that diet plan anymore. I did try after my competition going back on a similar program and I just kept struggling with it. I kept failing, kept getting back into that cycle of being on the plan for a couple days and then like binging or going crazy and eating out, and then I would feel just really crappy about myself. I had done this before, why can't I do it now? I think what I've realized is that diet just isn't sustainable for me in the long run. I think some people are okay with that, eating 6 meals a day and following that type of rigid plan, but for me it just doesn't fit into my lifestyle. Like, I like to go out with friends and go to social events and do fun things on the weekend, and that involves eating and drinking, and right now I'm not training or preparing for a show, so it doesn't make sense to me to be on that kind of plan, and that is not enjoyable for me. So I think what I'm realizing is that I need a more sustainable approach to this, something that fits more into my lifestyle but also helps me achieve the body that I want to achieve. Okay, so let's get into what I've been eating. I mentioned in my previous videos that I've been following a calorie limit. So currently I'm eating 2,040 calories a day. Well, that's my limit, so I can go up to that. I haven't really been going up to that every day actually, but I have that calorie limit and that's really all I'm focusing on, just staying under those calories every single day. And that approach has been really eye-opening for me because it's given me a lot more flexibility with what I can eat. I'm not following a specific meal plan and eating the same meals every single day. You know, if I have cravings for things, I can have it if it fits within those calories. It allows me to eat things that I enjoy in moderation. And I've noticed it's just taking off a lot of pressure that I used to feel about needing to be consistent with those specific meals that I was eating and not be able to eat anything else. The previous attempts that I had done, I would cut out all the junk food, drop my calories really low, and immediately I would just start craving those foods because I wasn't allowed to have them. But now I can have them. I really allow myself to eat anything I want, and as long as it fits within those calories. So it's just been this huge mind shift for me where I don't crave things as much because I know that I can have them if I want to. I just think with the way that I was trying to do things before, I was biting off more than I could chew. pun intended. And trying to change too many things at once. Going from eating out every single day, just kind of eating whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, to this really rigid diet with specific meals, specific timing of the meals, no junk food, maybe one cheat a week. It was just too much to adapt to, and it didn't fit into my lifestyle because every weekend I would be faced with the challenge of being at a social event or going out to eat with friends and just like battling with that, like, what do I do? I'm supposed to be eating this set meal, but I want to go out and enjoy this food with my friends. So the weekends are usually a huge piece of anxiety for me because that's when I feel like I'm challenged the most with regards to my eating. I just didn't trust myself to go out and make the right choices. I didn't trust myself in social settings to be able to say no to the junk food and stick to my plan. So typically on the weekends, I do go up to that calorie limit. I'm usually hitting right up against it, but it takes off so much pressure because I can actually have that stuff and I can drink if I want to. I just try to add all of that into my calories and make sure I'm staying on point. So that's been really awesome too. I'm just experimenting with this. Like, this isn't to say this is the end plan for me. Eventually, I'd like to be at a point where I'm not counting every single calorie, but for me right now, I think it's important to track the amount that's going into my body because I do want to see results, and I'm a numbers person, so kind of for me, I just feel safer if I track it. But I would like to be at a point where I'm not tracking calories at all, and I'm kind of just eating intuitively, knowing how much I need every day to kind of, keep my body in a round based on the activity I'm doing. But okay, sorry, I went totally off track here. So I wanted to talk about the actual foods that I've been eating for the past couple of months to lose weight. So for my breakfast every day, I've been doing pretty much the same breakfast since June. I've been doing 6 ounces of egg whites with half an avocado and either like a whole wheat bagel or an English muffin or a slice of bread. Sometimes I'll sub the avocado for peanut butter, and sometimes I'll add in like mozzarella cheese into my eggs. I usually eat around 9 a.m. on the weekdays. I get up around 6, I do my spin bike, and then I log into work at 7. I've got a couple meetings in the morning, so after like my morning meeting at 8:30, I'll cook my breakfast and eat around 9. I'm usually just not hungry right when I wake up, and I do like to get my spin bike in before I eat anything. I don't know, sometimes that breakfast just feels too heavy that early in the morning, so I feel like 9 is a good time for me. It's kind of like later in the morning so that I'm not like super starving too early in the day. So I do weigh everything out. I have a little food scale that I use that I just got at Target or I think on Amazon, and I do track everything in my MyFitnessPal. I think that's important, like if you're trying to lose weight, just to track how many calories you're putting in and have it a little bit more exact. That way, if I'm not making progress, I can go back and start adjusting things. So, and then my next meal is lunch. I usually eat around 1:30. I like to do my strength training before I eat lunch. I guess it just depends how hungry I am that day. Like sometimes I just can't wait and I'll eat early, but I like to push my meals as long as I can because I feel like I get hungrier as the day goes on. So like if I eat lunch later, then I'll eat dinner later and then not be as hungry at night. So I'll do my strength training during my lunch break and then I'll make lunch right away after that. For lunch, I've just been keeping it really simple. Like I've been having a sandwich. So I have like these Dave's Killer hamburger buns that I get with just a couple slices of ham and a slice of cheese, and then I'll have a little bit of peanut butter on the side. All that's measured out. I know it's not like some people may think, like it's not the healthiest lunch, but for me right now, it's just building that consistency with staying under that calorie limit and just kind of figuring out what works. And right now, this is just like something quick and easy that I can follow. One of the things too that I struggled with in the past is I would make these like elaborate meal plans, and it involved so much meal prepping and cooking on the weekends, and like I just don't care to spend that much time on it right now. Like I really just want something that's quick and easy because that's going to help me stay consistent. So that's what I've been eating for lunch, and it's been working just fine. And then I usually eat dinner around 5:30 to 6. Dinner is a lot more flexible. Like we don't exactly eat the same thing every day, but some days we'll get burgers and we'll have burgers for a couple of days. When we run out of those, we'll do like beans and chicken for dinner. On the weekends, on Friday nights, I'll usually get sushi or something. I think dinner is usually my highest calorie meal, and I like it like that. And then that usually brings me to 13 to 1500 calories in that range. So usually I'll have a snack After that, maybe a protein shake, maybe some cottage cheese like before bed. There are nights when I'm craving things and I want a snack, and I'll just go across the street and get like a candy bar or a small bag of chips or something. So that's been really cool, like having that option to get stuff when I need it. It just like shifts that mindset of like knowing I can have it, and if I need it, I'll go get it, and if I don't, then I'll just eat less calories that day and be good to go and make a little bit more progress. So that's what I've been doing like Monday through Friday. The weekends are a little bit less structured, usually because we're out doing stuff. I'm usually just a little bit more flexible on the weekends, and I do usually use up all of my calories on the weekends. Like I'll most days go up to that 2,040 calories, and that seems to work out just fine. If we want to eat out or go to dinner, I'll just try to get something that will fit into those calorie limits. I'll try to like eat a little bit less throughout the day, that way I kind of have more to use at dinner. And you know, there are days when I do go over, and it happens, and those days I try to do a little bit more activity if I can, get outside and maybe do an extra walk. I just tried to keep a balance. Like on those days, if I ate a little bit more, I just tried to move a little bit more. One thing that I'm not doing, which has been super helpful in changing this mindset of this negativity I used to feel around trying to lose weight and dieting. When I do go over my calorie limit, or you know, if there's a night and I just say screw it, I'm gonna order out tonight and just go over my limit, what I do the next day has completely changed from what I used to do in the past. So I do not wake up the next day and starve myself all day long and restrict myself to try to offset the damage I had done. I do not wake up the next day and do 2 hours on my spin bike or 3 hours of exercise. All I do is I just get up and get it back on track. That's it. And my hands are washed of the situation. It's over. We forgive, we move on. What did we learn? Was I okay with that decision? Like, did I need to eat that meal? There are times when I'm like, yeah, you know what? I feel better now and I'm ready to go into this new week. I'm going to do a killer workout today and put some of that food to use. And then there's times when I'm like, yeah, I guess I really didn't need that meal and probably not the best choice, but it's okay. And we move on. That's it. There's none of this like giving up and now we're done with the whole program. In the grand scheme of things, that one night of overeating is really not that big of a deal. I mean, if you start doing that every single day, that's where the problems come in. That was what I would fail to accept before. I was doing that damage every single day and didn't want to admit it. I think now I'm accepting the choices that I'm making, and I might not lose any weight that day or that week because of overdoing it, but I'm just going to get back on track the next day, because in a couple months from now, that consistency is going to add up to some real results. So overall, I'm really loving this new approach and what it's teaching me about myself. I feel like I'm really just learning it for myself this time and doing this like trial and error approach, seeing what's working, seeing what's not. I don't feel just so conflicted by food. I feel like I always was just like so consumed by thoughts of food. When's my next meal? What am I going to eat? Am I going to fall off track? Am I going to give in and order something? Like, I don't feel that pressure anymore. I'm kind of just going about my life normally now. It almost just feels like silly to talk about because I'm not doing anything crazy. People might look at my diet and think like, you're not even eating that healthy, and like, yeah, that's true, but it's just kind of working for me right now. And there's gonna be a point when I'm probably gonna have to tweak things and, you know, start experimenting with some healthier food and see how that makes my body feel. But right now, this is just helping me change that mindset that I used to have around dieting and trying to lose weight, and it's really making it a positive, enjoyable experience. And I feel like this is something that I could keep up and continue doing, and that's the whole point of this process and what I'm trying to learn. You know, another thing that's been really freeing for me is taking away that time pressure that I used to put on myself for an amount of time that I would need to lose weight by. Like, I always had some sort of event that I was trying to lose weight for, or a vacation in 3 weeks or a couple months away, and it just always put so much pressure on me to lose weight and to be perfect and to never fall off track. But I don't know if it's just because of like COVID and everything's canceled this year. I don't have any events to go to, so there is no pressure, but this journey is going to take a while, and I've accepted that, and I'm okay with that, because I really just, no matter what, just want these results to be sustainable. I don't want to lose all this weight again and gain it back, and if that means just taking it the slow route this time, I'm okay with that. I've made my peace with it. I think no matter what, if a year from now, I'm gonna have made some progress, and I'm gonna look back and be like, okay, I'm proud of myself for what I've done so far. Maybe I won't be where I want to be yet, but I know I'm gonna be further along the path than I am now if I keep putting in the consistent effort. So I'm looking forward to that. Even though it's slow progress, I am still making progress and my weight's still going down, and that's all that matters. I think I just gotta keep that in mind. The time will pass, and if I stay consistent, the results are gonna come. I'm already feeling so much better. I think just like setting your mind to something and doing it starts to build that confidence again and builds that discipline. You got to start off with small things. For me, it's just the calories right now, because if I try to create a meal plan and cut out all junk food, that's going to be too much. So right now, I just have these easy goals for myself, and I'm not making them too unattainable. Like, it's stuff that I know I can achieve, but it feels good every day checking that box, like, oh, I stayed on track today. Oh, I stayed on track this whole week. Oh, I stayed on track this whole month. I can friggin' do this. And then you can reassess, and maybe next month my goals are a little bit harder and I push myself a little more, and just keep going. And that's kind of how you start to build that discipline and that confidence in yourself. The confidence too just comes from sticking to what you set your mind to. Okay guys, that's it for this video. Hope you guys liked this and found it helpful. If you have any questions or want to chat about this more, feel free to DM me on Instagram or leave a message in the comments here. Thank you guys for all your support of my videos so far. I appreciate you guys so much, and I love having people following on this journey with me. So love you guys. See you soon. Bye.